Hello, everyone. Hello. How are you guys this evening? I hope doing well, especially for those that are probably in the narcissistic fog and need to hear these words as like a helping hand coming through the fog to get you out. Look at me. Look at me as that person for sure. Anyway, if you're new to the channel, thank you for joining. Much appreciated. I hope you subscribe by the end of this video. If you do, that means I did my job good. Um, even saying job is wrong. Actually, you guys are in the middle of, I'm going to bring you along in the middle of my journey as it's happening now. One second. Okay. As it's happening now. So you're listening to a man who is a chosen one, awakened by a narcissist, not just any narcissist, the worst of them all, the malignant, covert, physically violent, uh, clothes ripper, destroy everything, anything you love, and the type of and she is the type of woman that takes love. If you love her, love something, her son, anything that you love, and she turns it around and used it against me. Okay, now this was the first time I'd ran into a narcissist. Okay, I didn't know that they existed until I ran into this particular one. Okay. And luckily, I asked God to save me because I didn't know what was happening. I didn't realize until now. Oh, she was a narcissist. She does that to everybody. I was just unknown, unknowing of her. But like I said, it took that amount of pain to awaken me as a chosen one. Now I know. Now now I'm thankful for the journey in the relationship. I know when you're in it and you that sounds like it sounds crazy. Why would anybody want to be? Well, only if you learn from it, understand what it is. Excuse me. Still coming over a cold, so I apologize if I'm doing all this, but uh, it's all part of the awakening process because that's how much pain it took to awaken me. Now, when I go through, I'm 54 now, I can go through, I think about past relationships, and that's all I was dating was narcissists. Now I see why they were so attracted to me. Now that I'm awakened, I understand this. Everything is about perspectives. There are millions, no, excuse me, there are billions of perspectives in this world because each person has their own. A narcissist has one, theirs, and they believe it is the only one, which is their downfall. And they don't know that. That's their weakness. They don't know that there are other perspectives in this world besides theirs. Now, who knows when this happened? It usually happens in childhood, really. It really does, and just locks in parents. All you gotta do is just look back, look at the parents, how the relationships go, the kids. All you gotta do is just look, and then you don't really have to say anything. You can just look and see and have a pretty good picture. No, and not even listen, not even to a fault of her own. It could have just happened to her. Once identified, I had to leave psychologically first, like mentally. I had to say, okay, this is it. This is not going to work. Once I did that, I asked for God's help. He knew at that particular point that I wasn't saying it just to get my repair my relationship or nothing. He knew I was wanted out, and he got me out. Now, most of you ask if do narcissists ever cry? Do they actually like, cry over you? Well, let me tell you this. The one I left, first of all, she didn't know I was leaving. Okay. You can't let a narcissist know that you have any plans on leaving. I had to pretend like she was still, you know, I was allowing her to continue to abuse me because she was getting worse and worse and worse. But I knew that. But I knew I had to play the role and to make it seem like, because I noticed anytime I try to change up something, she would catch on really quick. So I had to stop doing that. So I had to pretend that she was still, you know, doing whatever she was doing. That way they stay lost in their perspective of the world and not really pay attention to me. And then once I was ready to execute, I did. And she cried. I got about 15 voicemails to prove it, about another 10 emails. Uh now now don't misunderstand this, okay? Don't misunderstand. Even though that was crying, she's just crying because she didn't do the leaving. She wasn't crying because I left her or she loved me. She made a mistake. Because you got to remember, in their perspective, they're never wrong ever. They never say sorry, and even when they do, they say, "I'm sorry that you feel that way." You know, that kind of stuff. But those are dead giveaways. When I hear a person say that now, "Hey, I'm sorry you feel that way," that gives me a hint of kind of like, it doesn't automatically say they're a narcissist, but it gives me an idea of already, because that's not really an apology, and only people like that say those type of apologies. Once I left her, I came back home, and now I'm I am an awakened chosen one that can recognize narcissists. So what I ended up doing was, I came back and started staying with my sister to get back on my feet after leaving the narcissist. And so what I did was, I had created a business during the time of the narcissist. We Once we broke up, we split off. I created my own and went on from there. And I naturally joined my sister with me, because her and I have never had a problem in our entire lives of having a relationship, ever, ever. Okay. So what I did was, I said, okay, I can't go wrong here, because my sister and I have never had a relation, or never had a problem, right? I make her 50% of the business, because all these, for the last couple years, she was like, "Hey, I'm having problems with my boss. He's doing this. There's so much drama at work." Or there, she come home every single night talking about this drama, that drama. That, where I'm like, "Okay, cool. I got this business. You can quit your job." Blah blah blah. So I do it. Come back, start the business. I'm like, "Okay, cool. You can quit your job." She was like, "Oh, I'm not ready yet. This and that." I'm like, "Okay, whatever. That's pretty fast for uh, uh, just say quit your job, because a lot of people have worked all their life, so they're very nervous, right? So I get it. So I gave her a year, but during that year, she was required. Listen, she was required to help me. Well, she did not. She did not help. I had to. She had to fit it in her schedule when she got around to it and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, this is okay. This is not working, because, y- you know, I don't want you thinking that. You get like 50% of the profits, because you're not really doing 50. Now, this is just a natural thing I'm saying in my head. And she was like, "Hey, whoa, wait a minute. What do you mean I don't get 50% of profits?" I said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, because you still have your full-time job, and you're not even putting in 10%. Why would you?" And now I'm going to be going back and forth, okay? Because I'm still not led up to the part of identifying my sister as a narcissist now. Okay. But these are the hints, these are the red flags that I was. Well, when she said that, she was kind of shocked. She was like, "Wait, what do you mean? I don't?" I was like, I was kind of like, "Well, what do you mean? Don't you know you're not working half?" They don't. I want you guys to understand something, and that's why I'm taking you along with this journey. Because the reason why it's separated now, as I'm telling you this story, because she's an identified narcissist. She's no longer my sister. She doesn't even know she doesn't have a brother anymore. Once they're identified, they have to be removed. Okay. But they don't really understand that there are perspectives outside of their perspectives. So she doesn't know. I can tell by the way she's acting around me. I can tell she doesn't even know. But you got narcissists, as long as you're physically there, they don't believe you're going anywhere, you're going to change any. The narcissist that I was with, she thought that. She used to tell me that all the time. Oh, you always say you're going to leave. You always say that. Yeah, you say this is your last time. You've had enough. She used to always say that in my face, and I was thinking to myself, "Oh, you don't really think I'm going to do it? Gotcha. Okay." And then you just let them believe what they believe, and then one day you leave on your terms, because what they want to really do is leave. They want to do the leaving, and for some reason, they want you to be just thrashed and thrown out in the street. I'm not sure why narcissists want that. That makes no sense. Okay, but anyway, so I said that was the first sign. So this is kind of like, and I'm telling you guys this story because I don't want you to think, like, say like you decide to start a business, and when you, and society always says, hey, do it with your family, those are the only people you can trust, and blah blah. I want to show you guys something so you don't get caught up in that's bullshit. It really is bullshit. But anyway, and this is, I'm using myself as it's happening. Okay. So I realized, long story short, she was hardly putting in any time. Even when she put in the time, it was half-assed. I had to go over the work. I had to redo it, and I used to tell her about it. She really didn't listen, didn't really pay attention to it. And I said to myself, because my sister and I never had a problem, I said, okay, you know what? This is our first time doing it. Uh, it's not a big deal. We tried the business together. It's not working. All right, cool. Here, sign this paper. I'm gonna just take your name off of it, and that'll be that. She told me no. That's another red flag. She said no. I was like, what do you mean no? No, you can bring 10 pens. I mean, she started saying some things that I didn't think, like, now remember, in order for me to leave, because in order to me for me to leave into my new perspective, there's certain people that cannot come. Okay. So when these things happen, these are things that I need to see that my sister, that I didn't believe she would do to me. Because we always believe, since they're family, they won't do certain things to you. But this should help a lot of people because it's happening to me now. So what I do is, since I've separated myself, now I just watch her. Narcissists do not apologize for anything, or take accountability for anything. So what do? They go off the deep end. They go deeper and deeper and deeper. They make things worse and worse and worse. My position here now is to see, how bad will she get to me, or do to me, compared to all the things she's already done. Will she steal money from the company? Stealing money from the company meaning that she has access to the business funds, but she does nothing within the business. Will she still go into the account and take money out? That's stealing. Will she steal from her brother? If she does, I must allow it so I can see it. Because if anybody came up to me and said, before this happening, if anybody came up to me and said, hey, do you think your sister would ever steal from you? I would have told them no. Just like what's happening now. Do you think if it didn't work out with you and your sister in the business, you could just talk to her and she would just sign out and get on out of it? Yeah, of course she would. I would have been wrong. Here is the number one thing. This is the easiest thing. This is the easiest way to be able to determine if you should go into business with a family member. Okay, this is the easiest way. Look how they're living their life today. And I mean everything. Are they liars? Are they cheaters? Do they fool around on their partners? Do they pay their bills? Uh, how do they treat their job? Are they always late? Show up when they want to? Get rolled up? You don't want to go into business with a family member like that. All I had to do was look at how my sister lives her current life. I'm only telling you guys this after the fact because remember, I have to experience it first and then I can tell you. All I had to do was look and see how my sister lives her life today. And I would have easily said, absolutely not. But since she was my sister, I didn't look at that because of the family thing. That's TV, everybody. That's TV. That family, this and that. No, all you got to do is this. Does that family member live their life the same way I do? If you see their life and it looks like it's chaos, if you go into business with them, that's how your business is going to be too. My sister is doing all the things that I would never in a million years do to her. Do you guys understand that? I was living in what, and this is for the chosen ones, because this is the reason why chosen ones look like easy prey to narcissists. Okay. In my current perspective of what in which I live, there is no cheating, there is no lying, there is no getting over on people, trying to get their money, tricking them, doing there. None of that exists. Now, what my problem was, it's clear as day to me today. I was in my own perspective inside of the narcissist's perspectives. So if I'm living like the way I'm living today, in their perspective, I look like an easy pushover punk. Like I'm not because I don't check her phone and follow up and make sure she actually went to the store and said where she went because that's how they live in their perspective of lying and cheating. And if you're a cheater, they're an automatic liar. Do you guys understand that? In order to be a cheater, you have to be a liar. They go hand in hand. That's in the you have to accept and if you come across a family member, I'm telling you, you have to let them show you what you never thought they would do to you. But then again, all you got to do is this: look and see how they treat other people in their lives. Are they always talking about other people? Do they watch a lot of drama shows that are always talking about? There's a ton of them out there. All these new social media drama shows about cheating and lying. That's why they make so much money because that's what they do in that perspective. They think that's normal. Are they doing that? You don't want to go into business. I know you might not think it. One has nothing to do with the other, but it does. That's all you don't need to say anything. You just say, "Oh, wow, okay. Yeah, they never show up work. They don't even show up. You look how they treat their job. If you go into a business with a person like that, that's how they're going to treat your business. But worse because they're going to think they can get away with more because you're a relative when it should be the opposite. Now I have to watch. I have to watch and see how deep my sister goes. I have to just watch. I'm in amazement. You guys understand? I'm in total amazement. The list of things I have, if somebody brought me this list and says, "Do you think your sister would do anything on this list to you?" I would have said, "Absolutely not. Absolutely not." What did I recently do? This is what I've done. I've asked God to take me to my next perspective of life. Whatever that means. I'm sure he understands what I'm trying to say. What does that mean? God gave us all the gift of choice. So I told him, I choose you always. Whatever decision you make, I choose it. You don't even have to ask me. I automatically choose you. That's what I said. Why? Because any choice he makes for me is always going to be good and for me and for the benefit of me. So why not? Automatically, that's what I choose because I have free will to choose. That he gave us all that free will. So you know what he's doing? He's removing the people that cannot come with me to my new perspective by unmasking them. Like I said before, my sister and I have never had any issues in our entire lives. We were the closest. The only way God was going to unmask the narcissist from my sister, we had the only way is to join businesses, to join in a business. This is the only way for me to see this. I want you guys to see how it works. So I can tell you, experience it, tell you so you don't have to do it, what to look for, how are they living their current lives. Listen, I've always known in relationships, I've always known my sister was a low down dirty snake, cheating, lying, whatever. But since she wasn't doing it to me, I didn't care. And I didn't think she would do it to me because I was her brother. I never thought she would bite me. Doesn't that sound crazy? That sounds like a person that had a snake. Oh, I raised it from a baby. And then one day the snake just bites him. What are you gonna be mad at the snake because of instincts? It's a wild snake. No matter if you raise it, it's still got wild instincts. Same thing. This was the only way I would be able to see it. And now that I'm in it, and now the difference is this: I know what a narcissist is now. So I'm not stuck on. I'm no longer stuck on. Oh my God, why is my sister doing this to me? I can't believe. No, she's one of many. I was like that with the narcissist when I didn't know that narcissists existed. Why is my girlfriend doing this to me? Why is she so mean? And she was, she, she's a narcissist, and she was lying from the very beginning. Everything, everything that happened, it's like a cocoon. Okay, everything that happened inside of that cocoon, it was a lie. Everything was a lie, but the purpose of it was my experience to wake up to be able to talk to you guys on the mic today, right now, as a chosen one. When they say people, when the people, when they wake up, everything makes sense. And now I get it. Everything just makes sense. It's really obvious. If I was the person I am today when I first had her join my business, I would have said, absolutely not. I'm not joining no business with you. I mean, I wouldn't even had to say it. I could just look at her life and just not do it. I wouldn't say anything. And like I said, this is for the people that get hung up on the family shit. Don't get caught up in that. Don't be afraid to say no. Even with listen. And another one was with my mother. Now I don't even consider my mother a narcissist, but let me tell you this one. This is another one that God exposed to me. Okay, just recently. Now growing up, lovely home, love, everything's love, everything. I am who I am today because of my mother. Guys, understand? Let's make sure that's clear. Okay, but here's the difference. Now I'm an adult man. First I'm her son, and even I'm her son even into adulthood. But now it's like, okay, I'm a grown up. So now when we have conversations, I want to have adult mom to man conversation. My mom had a little trouble with that for some odd reason. We would have serious conversations. She would be making faces and doing funny things and saying funny things. I said, "Hey, mom, can you stop doing that? You make it every time I have a serious conversation with you. When you do that, that makes it seem like you don't want to hear what I got to say." I said, "When you tell me serious things, do I talk? Do I look or talk or do I make faces? No, I listen to you sincerely." So we had the discussion, and the next time we did it again, she did it again. You know what I said to myself? Okay, it's not a big deal. Let me just let her know I'm serious. She'll talk. She'll call me up and say, "Hey, Linnell, let's talk. I apologize. I'll work on it." Do you know she stopped talking to me? Stop talking to me. Instead of apologizing, I said, "Wait a minute, I'm onto something here. I'm onto something. This is new to me. I've never actually challenged my mom on on any of her behaviors that have bothered me throughout life." Now, remember, I'm telling you guys something. All the things that bothered me are coming to light that I tried to ignore, pretend I could just live with. It's not really a big deal. All of those were lies to myself. So once that happened about the serious, because that happened for many years. That's why I could never have serious conversations with my mother because that would bother me. So I just ignored it. But as a grown man, I was like, okay, that's enough. I think I want to have a serious conversation with my mom. Blew me away. I was like, what? So let me get this straight. You're not going to talk to me at all because accountability. You guys, I'm starting to learn that accountability, there's a lot of people that don't have it and they run from it. Narcissists and people with no accountability, they're cowards, they run, they hide behind text messages, try to send you, talk, hey, listen, try to have a serious conversation with you over text. Are you crazy? You're blocked. I don't do that. You don't let, hey, listen, do not let people or narcissists do that to you. Hide behind text messages and try to have serious conversations. When they do that, just tell them you're blocked now. Because you guys need to understand energy is real. Put it this way: if a narcissist is texting you and you're like, "Oh, I'm not going to reply," that doesn't matter because you're reading them. You know that feeling as you read it, that energy that you feel, like say like you didn't get the text message, you wouldn't feel the energies that you're feeling when you read them. That's energy transfer. It works. The narcissist knows you're receiving their text messages even if you don't reply. You you have to make sure they know that you have them blocked. And if it's a must, you move to email only. They must know that they do not have direct connection with you, and they're not going to make that energy connection with you. They must know that. Once I blocked the narcissist that I was with, she was begging, "Oh my God, you got me blocked from everything." I know I do. That's why I did it. You have to starve them out because they're addicted to you just as much as you were addicted to them. Period. One second here. This experience that I'm sharing with you guys about my sister is just as beautiful as the experience was with the original narcissist. Can you believe it? How could it be, LJ? There was no other way. Listen, when Sixth Sense, this channel here, I hope you guys are listening. This channel will be one day be all over the world. Do you guys understand that? Now imagine if I had not found out now about my sister, what do you think I would have done? I would have naturally put her in to this business all over the world. Of course, I would have. My sister and I have never had problems. I would have been like, "Oh yeah, I have 100% trust in her." Of course, yeah, put her name on everything. Yeah, she just in case something happens to me, she did it. That's what I would have done. Now I'll never trust her again, ever. Thank God it happened now. Do you guys understand? Imagine, imagine I had put her name on a multi-million-dollar business. You think she would have left easily? Absolutely not. Now I don't have to worry about it at all because she will never be even near it. All I have to do is I see what she's doing with this little small little thing I'm doing now. Can you imagine? Can you imagine a multi-million-dollar business? Absolutely not. Even she won't even be nowhere near it. Hopefully that'll save a lot of you guys that are stuck on that family. Oh man, I got to make it with the. Hey, all you got to do is look how they're living their life. If they're living their life, okay. Hey, listen, a lot here. I'm gonna give you guys another little secret. All you have to do is look at a person's personal credit report. Make that a requirement. Hey, if I go into business with you, I need to see your personal credit report. Why would you do that? Because that will tell you how they have been treating the business of themselves all these years. One look at their personal credit report will tell you if you want to go into a person in business with a person like that. What's up, gang? Green Thumb? Mine cried because of what she lost, the things she lost. You know what? You got to be very careful about a narcissist crying, okay? Because my ex narcissist cried a lot, and all of it was bullshit. All of it. What's up, Kanita? How you doing? Welcome back. Catch another live. I love your content. My second live. I'm glad. Hey, appreciate that. Means a lot. You guys are at the beginning of a one day worldwide channel because there is no other channel. There will be no other channel like this one. And here, let me tell you guys the difference between me calling myself a chosen one and others. Okay. And not even saying that the others are not. I'm just telling you, I believe God has given me an additional gift to show those that do not know that this is true. The only way for me to show a person that there's something else is mathematics. That's the only way. Why is mathematics? Because if you don't trust the math, there's nothing else I can. If I said like this, if I said 1 + 1 = 2, and you said I don't believe you, there's nothing else I can do for you. I just walk away. There's nothing else I can do. I'm not going to say, "Come on, man, come on, just come on." That sounds like pure insanity, right? So put it this way. I'm gonna give you one example, okay? And this is what I mean. Say like you are a homeowner with a mortgage, okay? Open up the calculator, put in your mortgage payment minus your mortgage balance and hit equal. Okay. You see that large negative number? Does that look like you own something or does that look like you owe something? Okay. That large negative number says you don't own anything. And it's not and here's the bigger point. Here's the bigger piece. There's millions of you. There's millions of people with mortgages that don't know. That's the additional gift that I have. I'm showing you something, a mathematical something, and it's up to you to believe it or not. It doesn't matter to me if you believe it or not. I'm just showing you something. That's the additional gift, and that's just one example. What do? I help people change their life generationally, not just Hey, get a job, create a business. All of those things are good, but it's I do things that are much deeper than that. What's up, QQ? I'm gonna just say QQ. What's up, James? How you doing? Dark phobia. My narc was a parent. That's pretty tough. Glad I got this community. You know what? Like I said, my mother, I had again, say it's almost like my sister. I've had no problems with my mother until I became an adult man that was trying to put up boundaries with her, and she didn't like that. I found that weird. I was like, oh, maybe it wasn't always the guy's fault. She didn't have many boyfriends, but of course, when you're a kid, it's always the guy's fault. It's like, now let me get this straight. I'm your son, and I just had a simple request of you not to make funny faces during serious talks, and we don't talk anymore. I can only imagine what she must have did to her boyfriends. Because you got to think about it this way. You got to think about it this way. I, I'm just saying, hey, stop doing that. I'm just standing up. Listen, I'm just standing up for myself, and they don't like it. Like my sister literally wants to use me. She thinks she's going to use me, and the only thing I'm saying is no. Do you guys get it? That's all I'm saying. No, you can't do that. No, you can't. You can't. You work when you feel like it. I'm gonna do all the work. You get all. No, I said no. It's not a big deal. We're not working out. Okay, take your name out. No. What do you mean no? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I was like, oh, I'm on to something. Okay. All right. All right. You're gonna do that too? Oh shit! I didn't know you was gonna do that. Okay. Hey, when are you moving out? Oh, I got to get out now. Okay, just checking off the list. Listen, if you identify a narcissist in your family, if you want to see all that you did not believe that they will do to you because you thought they love you a certain way, all you got to do is put up a boundary. Pick one of the things they do to you that you don't like, okay? Because there's many, because they all do it. Because if you don't listen, if you don't check them, if you don't stop them, you got to remember you are in their perspective of the world. They're going to keep on doing it because that's what they do. I know it sounds insane. You're probably saying to yourself, "How come nobody that you think they don't know they're not supposed to be cheating or lying?" No, they don't. That's why they're doing it. Get that out of your mind. In their perspective of the world, lying and cheating is normal. Do you guys understand that? It is. You have to accept that. But you have to accept it's in their perspective in the world of the world, not yours. There is a perspective of the world that none of that exists. Where I live today, my sister is the last one. She's the last piece before I completely exit that perspective. She's the only one. She is the only person tying me to that perspective. That's it. Once this is over and tied up, that's it. There's nobody's close to me. This situation here that's happening, this will be it. This will never happen again for the rest of my life, ever. First, I have to experience it. That's the only way I can share it with you guys. Now I can make it easier for you so you don't make the same mistake and go into business with a family member because they're a family member. You could take a step back and say, how are they living their life today? What are they doing? What are they not doing? Do they give a shit about their job right now? Okay. If they show a lot of good accountability and responsibility, okay, cool. But if you don't see none of that, you're gonna have to tell that family member no, and don't even tell them about it. Because jealousy is real, people. You know why? You know why most narcissists want to destroy you during a breakup? That's never made any sense to me at first. Why do they always want to destroy you? Because they know you're going to do better without them. They know that because they know they're no good. They're not going to. They already know they're not going to do good because they are no good. They are no good. So they know their lives have never been good. I came into the narcissist life and made her life better. Now she gets to watch everything I create because of her. Create it and everything already. This is a different channel, people. I'm taking you along as it happens to me on my journey. So you could take the bits and pieces that's that's gonna happen. Everybody has their own journey. Believe that. And I honestly believe it starts in childhood. It really does. Luckily, and I thank God every night that I had absolutely no problems in my childhood. Thank God. But at the same time, it was a I wouldn't say a detriment. It was an unconscious because you got to remember as a child going through school and just grade school, middle school with no problems. I'm thinking every kid around me is experiencing the same thing. That's what's in my head, and that couldn't be further from the truth. I realize that now as an adult, awakened one now. When I think about my whole dating life and experience and all this other stuff, I understand now why I was dating who I was dating, doing the things I was doing. Because listening to society, all of that is. I'm telling you, the younger you are, you understand this. All of that is a program, people. You have no idea who is telling you what because you don't know how they were raised, what happened in their childhood. You don't know anything. So when they're telling you about, you don't. I mean, you have no idea if a narcissist. Listen, a narcissist could be selling you information, giving you a dating information. You don't know what. Listen, you don't know what happened in that person's childhood. The reason why that's gonna out- that's gonna be an outcome of what they give you. I can feel this. It's an amazing journey. I thank God for it every night. Mm. These videos will always be timeless. These videos are timeless. They will always be valid. Let me see what this. I'm out of here after this. Okay, I had a narc parent as well. Very hard to live with those people that make you feel guilty for existing. Wow, when you, when you never chose to exist. Man, that's crazy, James. That's crazy. If there's any questions, I never really. If there's any questions, just type in the comments. Let me know. He said QQ is good. Any questions? I know it's kind of late. Probably a lot of you guys on the East Coast. All right, I'm not. All right, you guys have a good one. Later.